guarantee that I die a legend. Yeah, son God, homie, I'm reverend. Great, just protecting my investment. Ask about me, integrity's not a question. Straight up, all the way up, with the same ones that was down from the jump. Day one, same ones been around when there ain't funds. Even got love for fake ones that changed up like they break ones. Go on, you can charge it to the game. I'm all up in the photos, looking largest in the frames. Ayy, keep how I move, man, I'm getting to the bag. But the amount of work required is not a price you wanna pay.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. I'm your host, Dylan Clemons. Here with me tonight, talking the Chicago Bears and continuing our 2023 team previews is my good buddy, Mike Bonni. What's up, my friend?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I'm just ready to talk some Bears football, man. And look, they're near and dear to our hearts. We're definitely Bears fans here.
Sure.
And but before we do that, I want to let you guys know, please smash that like button. Please subscribe to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel if you don't already. We would really appreciate that. And then head on over to fantasy6pack.net/plans and check out our memberships we got going on over there, guys. You get access to our award-winning rankings. You get access to our Discord where you could ask us any questions. And our NFL fantasy football cheat sheet just came out, dropped this week. So that is out there as well. But Ike, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into our quarterbacks for the Chicago Bears?
Oh, yeah.
So we got Justin Fields, PJ Walker, and Nathan Peterman on this depth chart, Ike, but all eyes are on Justin Fields. He's getting so much talk in the media right now. Is he going to take the next step? Is he going to be Jalen Hurts? You know, is he going to be in the MVP race? All that crazy stuff. But I'm curious to what your thoughts are of him as a fantasy football player this year. Do you have him ranked in the top 5 right now?
No, I have him actually behind Lamar and Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, so you have him 7, right? Mm-hmm. Why do you have him a little further down than where he's currently going?
I think Lamar obviously has potential to be top 30, even quarterback 1. So that's why I think, and plus new change in offense, but that's for a different podcast. And I think Trevor Lawrence takes a bigger step than Fields does passing wise. So.
Yeah, and that's totally fair. And Trevor Lawrence has got awesome weapons, and so does Fields. Now we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, last year Fields was pretty awesome. He was number 1 in fantasy points per dropback, number 8 in air yards per attempt. Ike. But then another thing that I noticed, and this is from PlayerProfiler.com, he was number 12 in completion percentage against zone coverage last year, but 32nd in completion percentage against man, which I kind of like because he's able to diagnose defenses against zone, obviously. But
just he has nobody
against man coverage. That's worrisome. Yeah, it was really just Darnell Mooney or bust. But do you expect him to be better through the air this year?
Yes, I do. Which will mean his rushing will take a hit, which is why I don't think he'll be a top 5 quarterback, because his rushing is what got him there. He was literally top 3 in every rush category. Literally every single one. It was first, third, second, third, first, whatever. It was insane. Mm-hmm. But if he can keep up the rushing and do the passing, you're looking at a guy who could be top 30 for sure.
Definitely.
It's just going to be a long way.
And he only threw like 17 touchdowns last year. If he can get to that number to like 22 to 24, I think that's where he really takes a step up in fantasy production.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you say we jump over to the running backs now, which we got Khalil Herbert, Deonta Foreman, Roschon Johnson, who they drafted, Travis Homer, and Treston Ebner. Mike, it's a big-time crowded backfield back there now. I'm curious, which running back in your eyes is the guy that you want to own out of this backfield?
Herbert. He was good last year in his limited workload because he did get hurt a little bit. Mm-hmm. His efficiency was pretty solid too. I'm pretty sure he was top 5 in true yards per carry. All that was pretty good. And then I'd rather have Roschon over Deontay Foreman too. I think he'll eventually take him over throughout the year. I think Foreman was more a guy that if Roschon or running back didn't fall to him, he'd be a solid backup. But since they got him, they don't really need to rely on Deontay.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that split at first, because obviously I think Khalil's going to be your starter. And like you said, he was very good. Number 5 in true yards per carry. And he averaged like 5.7 yards per carry last year. Like number 7, or he was 7th in juke rate.
Juke rate, that's what it was, yeah.
7 in yards per touch as well. So it's like when he gets the ball in his hands, he's able to make some plays and big plays as well. And I was also surprised looking at Foreman's stuff. He was number 14 in the league in breakaway run rate, Ike.
I did see that. Yeah.
9th in breakaway runs. Like he's not really known for as a home run hitter. He's more of a power back. So that kind of surprised me there.
Hard to get down, I guess.
But what's good for Roshan is that neither Khalil Herbert or Deonta Foreman are good in the passing game or pass blocking.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Roshan's going to walk right into that role as long as he beats out Travis Homer. And everything I've heard out of camp, Travis Homer has not done very well. He's fumbled a time or two. He's been dropping passes. So
good. We don't need him. Get him out of there.
Yeah, I agree. But it's kind of where everybody's going in this backfield. I'm not a big fan of drafting any of these guys right now. I was definitely high on Herbert before the draft, but when they drafted Roshan, I'm like, man, he
can easily take away the starting job. I mean, he's got good size. He's a little tall for a running back, I feel like 6'2" or 6'1" or whatever, but still, he's got the 218 pounds, 220 plus.
Yeah, I agree. And we've never seen Khalil Herbert carry a big workload either. So we'll see how it all shapes out. But I wouldn't go out of my way to make sure you get one of those guys.
Exactly.
So, but let's jump over to the wide receivers now. We got DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, Equinemius St. Brown, Velus Jones Jr., Tyler Scott, and Dante Pettis.
Not bad.
No, it's definitely a lot better. I'm curious your thoughts here, man, on DJ Moore, because he in underdog ADP right now. It's best ball, guys, so it's got a little bit of variance, but it's the best thing we can go off of right now. He's going as the 26th wide receiver off the board. Do you like his value there, Mike?
Well, I mean, he's had similar offenses basically his whole career, where like the quarterback is a little bit questionable at passing, they more run a little bit more, and he's finished as a wide receiver 2 or better in most of those seasons. So, I mean, drafting him after wide receiver 2 seems kind of silly when you know from past experiences with this same type of offense that he can do he can put up a wide receiver 2 season easily. I know you think he has top 12 potential. I don't know about that.
I really think he might, man. We're here everything out of training camp.
Mid wide receiver 2 might be his highest.
Yeah, I hear you there. But everything out of OTAs is just sounding like him and Fields already have that chemistry, and it's fantastic.
What he needs is more touchdowns. Give him more touchdowns, then he'll vault himself up there. So it's possible. It is.
I just could totally see him getting a 25 to like 28% target.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And if the Bears only threw it, I want to say like 24 26 times last year.
No, I don't have it. They were just 32nd. I know that.
Yeah, that's going to go up. The Bears are still going to be a run-first team, I think. But they're still going to throw more than what they did last year. That's just going to be a fact. It's going to go up. So I love DJ Moore. If he gets 130 targets, man, I think he's – and
I think I had him at like 120 something. So, yeah, he's around that range.
That's fair. I just love his value. And if he's going right around there in redraft leagues, I am absolutely hammering him in my draft. So, let's talk about the mid-range wide receivers you got here. The Bears traded what ended up to be the 32nd pick for Chase Claypool last year. And then Darnell Mooney coming back from injury. Who would you rather have here?
Mooney. For sure. I don't like anything I've seen from Claypool out of camp so far. Seems like he doesn't have the right mindset. You can't really go off anything because the only thing he's really done was his rookie year where he scored a bunch of touchdowns. But other than that, he hasn't improved much.
Yeah, and he's just Matt Eberflus quoted, he's dealing with some things or dealing with some stuff. So he hasn't been available.
Dealing with some things.
So him and Fields aren't growing any chemistry. And from what we saw last year, they didn't have any when they were on the field together. But yeah, I lean with you there. I'm fine taking Mooney a little later if I don't have DJ Moore on my team, man. he started out very poorly last year, but I don't think it was his fault. Like we said, the pass offense for most of the year was just a joke. And he did have the 4th highest win rate versus man coverage last year. So he can get open. And it's going to be nice to have DJ Moore and him on the outside, man, for Justin Fields this year. I'm totally excited for that.
I also am excited for Tyler Scott a little bit.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what he does. It just who is the odd man? I doubt they're going to hold 7 wide receivers, man. Who's the odd man out? Is it Velus Jones already after being drafted?
It's either Velus or Pettis.
And Dante Pettis has special teams ability. I know people listening to this probably don't want to hear this because it has nothing to do with fantasy football, but Velus really might be the odd man out because he couldn't return punts last year.
Even though that was his thing. He was supposed to be a kick return, punt return, but he fumbled it.
He's pretty good kick returning, but if you can't return punts, man, I feel like anybody can kick return. You know what I mean?
Well, kick return is basically dead.
Yeah, exactly. So, not looking good for Velus Jones in my eyes. But let's finish out here, Mike, with the tight ends. We got Cole Kmet and Bobby Tonyan comes over from the rival Packers. Cole Kmet was my tight end darling last year, man. We planted our flag. You did to a certain extent too. I think we planted our flags on him, and he finished around where we thought he was going to. He finished with like 7 touchdowns after having 0 the previous year. So that was
insane.
Nice
how much touchdowns can change your fantasy finish.
100%, man, 100%. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on him heading into this season because the Bears love the way he run blocks, man. And with Tonyan coming over, we've seen him catch double-digit touchdowns. It was from Aaron Rodgers, but we know he has the ability and he has good hands. I'm sure you saw the video on Twitter where Fields rifled that ball to him in the back corner of the end zone, and Tonyan tipped it to himself and caught it, which was absolutely nasty. Do you think he kind of nukes Cole Kmet's value this year?
I think he takes a little bit of the targets away from him, but I mean, we saw what Cole Kmet did last year, and he had 24 less targets than the year where he finished 10-21. So, I mean, he can do what he can. He just needs to be useful in the red zone. So, tight end 10 with how tight ends are, it's possible. But there's a few tight ends I'd rather take over him. Like, I'd probably rather have David Njoku, Darren Waller, obviously, the ones above him. Yeah.
Do you have your rankings pulled up by chance or no?
I do not, but I know I have him behind Dalton Schultz, too, as well.
Right now to see where he's going in best ball drafts. He's going as tight end 15 behind Greg Dulcich. I'd rather have Kmet over him. Dalton Schultz is going ahead of him. Probably rather have Dalton Schultz. Here's a good one. Would you rather have Chig or Cole Kmet?
Cole Kmet easily.
Okay.
I feel like Chig's go. I don't know why he's going so high up right now.
Yeah, sure.
It's not making sense to me.
Well, I know Michael.
I'd rather have Dulcich over him.
I know Michael Plant and Dave Eddy talked about that on their Titans team preview, guys. So go ahead and check that out if you want to hear their thoughts on Chigakonkwo. What's also interesting is Dalton Kincaid's all the way up at tight end 11, which is entirely
that pisses me off. That's so annoying.
Let's not get into that. Let's save that for a different stream. So, but that wraps up our Chicago Bears 2023 preview. Before you get out of here, please smash that like button. Please subscribe if you don't already, and head on over to fantasy6pack.net/plans and check out our membership. For Mike Bonni, I'm Dylan. We'll talk at you next time.